Not for the first time this season, Man United fans left Old Trafford frustrated on Saturday after another Premier League game in which we drew where we should have won the game. That's 3 home Premier League games in a row now that's happened. We've had Arsenal 1-1, we've had Burnley 0-0, we've had Stoke 1-1. Now these are 3 games in which Man United have dominated and controlled the performances, but 3 games in which we've only come away with 3 draws. Now that is 6 points dropped from Man United. Now had we won those 6 points, we'd currently be 3 points behind Chelsea, who are top of the Premier League. Instead, we're 9 points. And these are the small margins that Man United are working with. But I just wanted to do a video here today as to why Man United fans don't have to worry at the moment. I mean, if you're looking, our first problem is kind of obvious. We need to improve our finishing. We need to be far more clinical in our finishing. If you're looking at these 3 home games against Arsenal, Stoke and Burnley, we've scored 2 goals. In those games, we've had a total of 74 shots. 74. That's 1 goal every 37 shots, which is absolutely ridiculous. There's nothing you can do about a performance like Tom Heaton, but there's a lot you can do about poor finishing. Zlatan had a string of poor finishing before he went and scored a brace against Swansea. You're looking at that game against Arsenal. The one chance that stands out for me is Marcus Rojo. His header, cross-lofted in by Daley Blind, absolutely pinpoint. Rojo, free header, 7 yards out, heads it back towards the corner flag. Now, I'm not expecting him to score from that every single time, but you've got to get that on target. And it's happened with United a hell of a lot this season. We've just got to get our shots on target. Their finishing is poor. Strikers, midfielders, defenders. There's just poor finishing everywhere. And that's the small margins between United being 9 points off the top of the Premier League and 3 points. It's our poor finishing. But as many chances as we are creating, I feel like we're missing out on a lot of chances too. And this is my second point. I think that there needs to be more positive attacking play from the entire team as a collective. Again, using the Arsenal game as an example. One chance in particular that stands out when Paul Pogba found himself in space down the right-hand side, beat his defender and swung across him. There was nobody anywhere near the 6-yard line. Had somebody like Javier Hernandez been making a run to the front stick, tap in. Easy goal, 1-0 Man United. But nobody made the run into the box. And that happened quite a few times against Arsenal. When Valencia was running down the right-hand side, when Marcus Rashford was running down the right-hand side. It seemed that whoever was making that run down the right was so far ahead of his players that when he went to find the ball into the box, nobody was in the box to make the most of the opportunity. Now, so that needs to be a cohesive link between the attacking play coming down the pitch as one. I feel like we're missing out on that. And because of that, we're missing out on a hell of a lot of opportunities for very, very simple, easy goals. And early this season, United were conceding a lot of late runs into the box, which were leading to goals. I think Watford is the one that stands out the most. I think we conceded 2 in that game. Just late midfield runners that come in on the edge of the box are there, sweeping a shot in. That's how we scored our goal. Herrera swept it back to Mata, and then Mata swept it in the goal. But United didn't do that enough against Arsenal. We didn't have a person on the edge of the box or a person running into the box enough. Had we done that, we would have scored more than 1 against Arsenal. Now, I think this is a very, very crucial point as well. We need to see out games. Two matches there that stand out, Stoke and Arsenal. 82nd minute equaliser to Joe Allen, 89th minute equaliser to Olivier Giroud. Both completely and utterly avoidable. Now, the problem here is that we know Mourinho. Jose Mourinho, 1-0, he'll take off someone like Juan Mata, he'll put on someone like Morgan Schneiderlin, and he will see a game out. That's what he made his bread and butter at Chelsea. That's what made him so hard to beat, is that when he had a lead, his team wouldn't let it go. His team would defend staunchly, get rid of it, sit tight, sit disciplined, and see that last 10 to 15 minutes of a game out. And they would do it like clockwork. United now, twice in the last 3 games, have let it slip. And that's because our defensive unit at the moment is not cohesive. You saw we had 3 left-backs playing in our defence against Arsenal, and that really says it all. But even against Stoke, when you had Eric Bailly, Smalling, Valencia, and Daley Blind playing, we still weren't cohesive enough. And that was when we had probably our starting defence at that time. So I wouldn't say it's down to personnel. Obviously, it is down to personnel, but it's not down to injuries or anything like that. It's down to United just being good at defending. Now, we haven't conceded that many goals this season, so I wouldn't say our defending is awful, but in the crucial points when the pressure's coming on us in the last 10 to 15 minutes of a game, we are not good enough at getting the ball out of defence and being able to push up and then put pressure on the attacking team so that they can't instantly come straight back at us. It's happening too often. And it leads on to my next point in that we should be playing to our strengths at the moment. And our strengths are certainly not in our defence. Our strengths are in chance creation. It's definitely not in taking chances, but it's in chance creation. And we should be playing more attacking football in that last 10 minutes. Not that I expect us to be go trying to score a second and maybe concede on the counter-attack, but you can't concede if you've got the ball at your feet. And that's a simple rule of football. Sorry to throw a truism at you there, but it's true. And I just want to see United just hold the ball. Just hold the ball further up the pitch. Play towards Herrera, Pogba. Play with Rashford. Keep Mata on the pitch maybe. But we've got players in attack who are more than confident of keeping the ball between them. Move it round in the final third of the pitch instead of trying to keep it a little bit closer to home, because in 2 of the last 3 home games we've been burned because of it. And that's got to stop if we are going to mount a title challenge this year, because it can still happen. As I said, if we got those 6 points against Arsenal, Stoke and Burnley, we'd be 3 points off top. But ahead of a crazy fixture period this Christmas, United really need to just tighten it up in defence and maybe be a little bit more expansive in those last 10 minutes instead of making squeaky bum time. And United do need a little bit of luck. Let's be honest, you're looking at that game against how Andre Mariner didn't say that was a penalty against Valencia. I will never know. Valencia was completely in front of Monreal. The ball was in front of him. It was him against goal. And Monreal threw his body in front of Valencia, and Valencia went down. He wouldn't have went down had Monreal not tried to... It was a clumsy tackle. Arsenal fans trying to tell me it's not a penalty. Get out of town. It was a penalty all day long. And you've seen that in recent games at Old Trafford, that we should have had penalties, that we haven't had penalties. Luck certainly hasn't been going our way, but ultimately it comes down to our poor finishing. And for that reason, I just feel that Man United are on the edge of a clinical win, of beating a team in the Premier League by 4 or 5-0. Hopefully that is against West Ham. Hopefully that is against Spurs. Hopefully that is against Everton. United have got some important games coming up and some tough games, but we're going in the right direction at the moment. It's just the margins between victory, draws and losses, apart from Chelsea, are small. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of that draw at the moment. Now, as I said, I'm confident that spanking is coming of a team. Not in the Europa League, because we got 4-1 against Fenerbahce. It did nothing for Stamford Bridge. We just need to do it in the Premier League, and the players are confident. You can see it. The players are happy. Herrera and Mata playing brilliantly well together. Pogba's starting to come into his own as well. Defensively, we're weak. Rashford's a little bit out of form. There's things we can improve all over the pitch, but this is not anything to do with the crisis. United are just sitting on the edge of it. We're on the precipice of this team clicking. And I've said it all season long. It's a case of when and not if this season kicks on. So hopefully that comes against West Ham this weekend. Let me know your comments below. How do you think United are getting on right now? But I think there's plenty of reason to be positive. No reason to be negative. It's just frustrating at the moment, but we're close. And when it happens, watch out, Premier League. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as always. Drop a like on the video and we'll see you soon. Take it easy.